The certificate fluttered to the auditorium floor like a wounded bird, its gilded edges catching the harsh fluorescent lights of the American International School of Malaga's stage. Principal Harlan Whitaker's face, red as the Spanish sunset bleeding through the arched windows, twisted into a snarl that silenced the packed house of students, parents, and faculty. "This is not a place for your kind of deviance," he spat, his voice echoing off the terracotta tiles, as 17-year-old Ella Ramirez stared in horror, her heart shattering louder than the rip of paper. Ella's knees buckled, but she didn't fall, not yet. The award for her short film Echoes of the Olive Grove had been her lifeline, a National Youth Cinema Prize that promised escape from the suffocating heat of Malaga's summers and the colder grip of her hidden self. Beside her, Elizabeth Liz Harper, her secret flame and fellow senior, reached out, fingers brushing Ella's in a touch that screamed, "I'm here," without a word. But in that moment, as whispers rippled through the crowd like waves on the Costa del Sol, Ella felt the betrayal sink deeper than any ocean. This wasn't just about her film. It was about them, the stolen kisses in the school's hidden courtyard, the whispered promises under starlit skies, the love they dared to nurture in a world that still wielded scissors like weapons. The auditorium erupted not in applause but in chaos. Phones whipped out, capturing the principal's meltdown live to social media, where hashtags like Malaga Prideful began to trend within minutes. Harlan, a transplant from Ohio with a Bible in his desk drawer, and a grudge against anything that didn't fit his narrow Midwest mold, had always patrolled the halls of this expat haven like a hawk. The school, a beacon for American families posted abroad, diplomats, military, tech execs, prided itself on blending Yankee grit with Andalusian charm. But Harlan? He was the storm cloud over the fiesta, especially since rumors of Ella and Liz's relationship had slithered into his ears 2 weeks prior, courtesy of a jealous underclassman with a crush on Liz. Ella clutched the remnants of her award, the jagged edges cutting into her palm, as teachers rushed the stage. "Principal Whitaker, this is unacceptable," barked Ms. Rodriguez, the drama coach, her accent thick with local fire. But Harlan waved her off, his eyes locked on Ella like she was the serpent in his garden. "This film glorifies unnatural choices. It's propaganda, plain and simple. I won't let it tarnish our commencement." Liz, all 5 feet 10 inches of her soccer-honed frame, stepped forward, her blue eyes blazing. "It's art, you bigot. And it's mine too. I co-directed it." The crowd gasped. No one had known that. Ella's film wasn't just hers. It was their story, veiled in metaphors of olive trees entwining roots, of sea winds carrying forbidden songs. Backstage, as security escorted Harlan away amid shouts, Ella collapsed into Liz's arms. The scent of Liz's vanilla shampoo mixed with the salty tang of tears, grounding her in the whirlwind. They'd met freshman year in film club, 2 outsiders in a sea of privileged transients. Ella, daughter of a Mexican-American diplomat and a Spanish translator, her skin kissed golden by the sun, her laughter like guitar strings in a flamenco bar. Liz, the golden girl from Seattle, dragged to Spain by her filmmaker mother's latest project, her freckles mapping constellations across her nose, her voice a soft Pacific Northwest lilt that hit a tempest. What started as late-night edits in the AV room bloomed into something electric, hands lingering on editing bays, eyes meeting over storyboards, until one rain-soaked evening in the school's rooftop garden, where bougainvillea wept purple petals, Liz had kissed her. "I've been waiting for this coast to crash into yours," she'd murmured, and Ella had drowned willingly. But love in Malaga was a tightrope over the Mediterranean. Ella's parents, progressive in politics but traditional in hearts, suspected but never confronted. Liz's mom, the renowned director Alara Harper, known for Oscar-nominated docs on social justice, was oceans away in LA, chasing her next grant. The school, with its American curriculum and Spanish flair, was supposed to be safe harbor. Until Harlan. He'd arrived last year, imported by the board to instill discipline, and his sermons in assembly about traditional values had grated like sand in a sangria glass. Whispers of his past, fired from a Texas school for similar stunts, circulated, but tenure protected him like a fortress. As the ceremony dissolved into murmurs, Ella and Liz slipped out a side door into the courtyard, where fountains bubbled like unspoken apologies. "He can't do this," Liz fumed, pacing the mosaic tiles. "We'll appeal to the board. Hell will go viral." Ella leaned against a stone pillar, the awards tatters in her fist. It's not just the film, Liz. It's us. He knows. Someone told him. The betrayal stung fresh. Who? The film club rival? A friend who'd seen them at the beach? Paranoia coiled in Ella's gut, twisting her romance into something fragile, exposed. That night in Ella's apartment overlooking the port, whitewashed walls adorned with her sketches of jagged sierras, they curled on the balcony sofa, the cities hum a distant lullaby. Liz traced patterns on Ella's arm, each freckle a promise. Remember our first date? That hole-in-the-wall tapas place, where the old ladies thought we were sisters and pinched our cheeks. Ella smiled faintly, the memory a balm. Stolen glances over patatas bravas, Liz's foot nudging hers under the table, the world narrowing to just them. You ordered extra chorizo to make me laugh when I burned my tongue. Laughter bubbled up, but it cracked at the edges. What if this ends us? What if Malaga swallows us whole? Liz pulled her closer, their foreheads touching like puzzle pieces. It won't. We're stronger than his hate. And my mom's coming for the ceremony redo. She'll fix this. Alara Harper. The name alone evoked red carpets and TED Talks, a woman who'd turned documentaries into daggers against injustice. But Ella wondered, could even a national icon mend a heart torn asunder? Word of the incident spread like wildfire across the Atlantic. By morning, Tear the Hate trended on X, with clips of Harlan's tirade racking up millions of views. Petitions surged, alumni from the school's storied past. Now Hollywood producers and activists rallied online. Ella woke to her phone buzzing. Messages from strangers, supporters, even hate mail that Liz deleted before she could see. They holed up in Liz's family's rented villa on the hills, a sprawling estate with infinity pools mirroring the sea, where lemons hung heavy and the air smelled of jasmine rebellion. There, amid whispered plans and tender distractions, Liz reading poetry from Lorca, Ella sketching their entwined hands, they confronted the fracture. I should have told you sooner, Liz confessed one afternoon, as they hiked the terrace paths to a hidden cove. About my doubts. Mom's always away and I fear we'll graduate and drift like these ships. Ella stopped, the pebbled beach crunching underfoot. Is that why you poured everything into the film? To anchor us. Liz nodded, tears salting the waves. Vulnerability cracked them open, deeper than any principal's scissors. They kissed there, fierce and forgiving, the sea applauding with foam. But betrayal lurked closer. A leaked email from Harlan surfaced. He'd not only torn the award but reported Ella and Liz to immigration services, claiming their lifestyle violated expat conduct codes. A lie, but potent enough to threaten Ella's visa, tied to her father's post. Panic clawed at Ella's chest. He's trying to deport me. To erase me. Liz's face paled. Over my dead body. They drove back in silence, the radio crooning sad boleros, the Sierra Nevada's shadows lengthening like accusations. The board convened an emergency meeting, but Harlan stonewalled his allies, conservative parents with oil money back home, backing him. Protests bloomed outside the school gates. Rainbow flags waving alongside Andalusian crosses, locals joining American expats in chants of Amor no tien fronteras. Ella and Liz attended, hand in hand for the first time publicly, their grip a quiet revolution. Cameras flashed. Hearts swelled. Yet doubt gnawed. Was this love worth the exile it might demand? Alara Harper arrived like a tempest, jet-lagged but unyielding, her silver-streaked bob and sharp cheekbones echoing Liz's future. Darling, she enveloped Liz in a hug, then turned to Ella with eyes that saw souls. You've got fire in you, chica. Let's make a movie out of this nightmare. Over espresso in a harborside cafe, where fishing boats bobbed like forgotten dreams, Alara plotted. Live TV. The national news. I'll go on Malaga morning, expose him. But you too, you tell your story. The climax brewed under a sky bruised purple. Rehearsals in the villa. Ella's voice trembling as she practiced her monologue, Liz coaching with gentle edits. Betrayal struck again. The jealous underclassman, Mia, confessed via anonymous tip. She'd ratted them out for a shot at film club presidency. Forgiveness? Ella wavered, but Liz urged grace. Hate's her cage, not ours. Human threads wove tighter, turning pain to purpose. The morning of the broadcast, the studio hummed with electric tension. Malaga Morning, Spain's top English-language show for expats, had pivoted to crisis mode. Harlan, smug in his tie, sat opposite Alara, who radiated calm authority. Ella and Liz watched from green room shadows, hearts pounding like congas. "This is slander," Harlan blustered on air. "The girls' work promotes immorality. As principal, I protect our values." Alara leaned in, her voice steel-wrapped in silk. "Values? Or bigotry? Let me introduce the girl you're so afraid of." Cut to pre-tape segment. Ella on the beach, waves framing her resolute face. "My film isn't propaganda, it's truth. Love isn't deviance. It's the olive branch in a divided world." Clips rolled. Their award acceptance, pre-rip, student testimonials, the tear in slow-mo. Then live feed switched. Alara pulled Ella and Liz on stage, the audience gasping as they clasped hands. "You tore up more than paper, Harlan," Alara thundered, her director's eye framing the shot for maximum impact. "You tore at a kid's spirit. But America taught me one thing. Justice doesn't hide in shadows." Harlan sputtered, but the host cut him off as calls flooded in, supporters, donors pulling funding. The board, watching remotely, fired him on the spot, announcement flashing live. Cheers erupted, but Ella's eyes met Liz's in the melee raw reel. As confetti rained, improvised by crew, they kissed on national TV, a quiet thunder. Not for the cameras but for them. The world saw, the world shifted. In the aftermath, the school bloomed anew. A new principal, a queer ally from Barcelona, reinstated the award with fanfare. Ella's film screened at a local festival, earning standing ovations and a scholarship to USC, Alara's alma mater. Liz accepted there too, packed with dreams of co-directing. But the road wasn't paved gold. Ella's parents, after tearful dinners of paella and confessions, embraced her fully, visa secured by Alara's legal eagles. Yet scars lingered. Trust, once shredded, mended slowly. Mia apologized in the courtyard and Ella forgave, not for absolution but humanity, understanding that fear's tendrils reach far. Graduation under June's golden haze. Caps tossed like seabirds, Ella and Liz walking arm in arm down the aisle lined with olive wreaths. "To new coasts," Liz whispered. Ella smiled, the sea breeze carrying their laughter. Love, they'd learned, wasn't a award to clutch. It was the tide that reshaped shores, forgiving the storms that tried to break it. But in quiet nights, as guitars strummed from distant bars, Ella pondered the cost. Harlan, disgraced, slunk back to Ohio, his echo a cautionary tale. Had they won? Or merely survived? Humanism whispered both. In Malaga's embrace, American hearts in Spanish soil, they'd planted roots deep enough to weather any gale. And that, Ella knew, was the true real. Not perfection but persistence. Fade to the horizon, where two silhouettes merged against the waves, eternal as the Mediterranean's song. The villa's infinity pool shimmered like liquid sapphire under the midday sun. But Ella couldn't shake the chill that had settled in her bones since the broadcast. It had been 2 weeks of viral glory, interview requests from CNN International, and a school's worth of awkward apologies, but the high had crashed into a hollow ache. Liz dove in with her usual abandon, surfacing with water cascading over her freckled shoulders, grinning that lopsided smile that once made Ella's world tilt. "Come on, mi amor. The water's perfect. It'll wash away the ghosts." Ella dangled her feet from the edge, toes tracing ripples that distorted her reflection. At 17 she felt ancient, her brown eyes shadowed by the weight of what-ifs. What if Harlan's poison had seeped deeper? What if the board's swift justice was just performative theater? A nod to the cameras before the curtains closed. "I keep replaying it," she admitted, voice barely above the cicada's hum. His face when Alara dropped the mic, metaphorically. It was cathartic, but what now? We're fixed in amber, the poster girls for queer resilience. Liz hauled herself up, dripping onto the terracotta deck, and sat beside her, thigh pressing warm against Ella's. The contact sparked memories. Lazy afternoons editing footage in this very pool house, where sunlight slanted through shutters like film reels. We're not posters. We're us. And you gets to choose the sequel. She tilted Ella's chin, their lips brushing in a kiss soft as sea mist. Comfort, not conquest. No heat, just home. Ella leaned into it, letting Liz's steadiness anchor her drifting heart. Alara had extended her stay, turning the villa into command central for Project Phoenix, as she dubbed their advocacy push. Mornings dissolved into strategy sessions over fresh churros and café con leche. Alara's laptop opened to petitions and donor lists. "You've got leverage now, girls," she'd say, her voice a gravelly melody honed by years of pitching to Hollywood suits. "Use it. Start a club, queer cinema creators. Fund it with my foundation." Liz thrived on the momentum, her athletic energy channeling into vision boards plastered with festival logos and rainbow-streaked story treatments. But Ella? She sketched in margins, her pencil strokes hesitant, tracing olive branches that twisted into thorns. The betrayal from Mia lingered like a bad aftertaste. It had unfolded in fragments. First the anonymous DM to Harlan, then Mia's tearful confession in the principal's office post-firing, broadcast in a school-wide assembly that felt more like a public shaming than redemption. "I was scared," Mia had sobbed, her braces glinting under the lights, "of liking girls and no one liking me back." Ella had nodded from the front row, throat tight, empathy warring with hurt. Forgiveness came haltingly, over ice cream at Heladeria La Alcazaba, where Mia stammered apologies amid scoops of Turin. "I thought spotlight meant power. But it just burned." Ella had squeezed her hand. "Power's in the story, not the steel. Help us build one." Now Mia co-edited club flyers, her fresh perspective a bridge over the chasm. Yet conflict simmered beneath the surface. Ella's father, Ambassador Ramirez, returned from Madrid with clipped tones and furrowed brows. Dinner that night, a spread of gazpacho and jamon, turned tense when he set down his fork. "This publicity. It's opened doors but also eyes. Your mother's worried about Madrid postings, about whispers in diplomatic circles." Rosa Ramirez, elegant in her linen shift, reached for Ella's hand. "We love you, Mija. Always have. But Spain's progressive face hides old bones. Be careful." Ella's chest tightened. Their support felt conditional, laced with the fear of cultural fallout. Liz, invited as study partner, sat silent, her foot nudging Ella's under the table, a Morse code of solidarity. Later, on the balcony overlooking twinkling Malaga, Ella vented. "They say they get it, but it's like I'm still the secret ingredient in the family recipe." Liz wrapped arms around her from behind, chin on her shoulder. "Giving chimi. My mom's the same, fights for the world, fumbles her kid." Alara's absence loomed large. She jetted back to LA for a gala, promising return for graduation. Liz's vulnerability peeked through. What if she pulls the scholarship strings too tight? Makes us her project? Ella turned, cupping Liz's face. "Then we cut our own path. Like in the film, roots find their way." The Queer Cinema Club launched with a bang. A screening in the school's revamped auditorium, now adorned with pride murals painted by students. Ella's Echoes headlined, followed by Mia's raw short on coming out fears. The room, packed with locals and expats, hummed with sniffles and snaps, phones capturing not destruction but creation. Harlan's ghost hovered in empty seats, but cheers drowned him. Post-screening, over sangria, non-alcoholic for the minors, donors approached. A tech mogul from Silicon Valley, tearful, a Spanish actress offering cameos. Ella basked, Liz's hand in hers a talisman. But drama crested unexpectedly. A counter-protest brewed. Harlan's allies, a clutch of evangelical expats, picketed the gates with signs. "Protect our kids from indoctrination." Chants clashed with club chants, tension crackling like summer lightning. Ella, spotting a familiar face in the fray, her tia Sophia, conservative holdout from the family, froze. Sophia, visiting from Seville, had cornered her that morning. "This phase will pass, Sabrina. Don't shame us." Now here she was, rosary in hand, eyes pleading judgment. The confrontation unfolded in the parking lot, gravel crunching under heels. "Tia, this isn't shame, it's me," Ella pleaded, Liz flanking her like a shield. Sophia's face crumpled, years of church doctrine warring with blood ties. "Your parents raised you better. This love? It's against God's design." Liz stepped forward, voice steady. "Designs diverse, Mom." Like Spain's coastlines, rugged, beautiful, unapologetic. The words hung, a poetic gauntlet. Sophia wavered, glancing at the rainbow flags fluttering like defiant sails. A student handed her a club flyer. She took it, fingers trembling, and walked away, not converted but cracked open. That night, rain lashed the villa, mirroring the storm in Ella's soul. Liz found her in the library, curled with Lorca's verses. She'll come around. Or she won't. But you shone today. They talked till dawn deep, delving into fears of post-grad drift, of oceans separating Seattle dreams from Malaga memories. Promise we'll fight for this, Ella whispered. Liz sealed it with a vow. Cross my heart, like the first edit we botched together. Laughter mingled with rain, forging intimacy from the deluge. Ilara's return brought momentum's surge. I've got a pitch, she announced over breakfast, screens glowing with contacts. A docuseries, Coasts of Courage. Your stories, girls, as episodes. Excitement bubbled, but Ella hesitated. Authentic or exploitation? Ilara's eyes softened. Rare vulnerability. Both if we're honest. But you direct the cuts. Trust rebuilt, brick by humanistic brick. As graduation neared, romance deepened in stolen moments. Picnics in the Alcazaba Gardens, where ancient walls whispered secrets. Stargazing on rooftops, constellations mapping futures. Conflict with Sophia resolved in a quiet cafe truce. Tears, hugs, a tentative, I love you anyway. Betrayal's echo faded, replaced by alliance. Yet the true high tide swelled. USC acceptances arrived, dual envelopes sealed with possibility. Ella and Liz danced in the kitchen, Ilara filming with mock gravity. To new horizons. They toasted with horchata. But in the quiet after, Ella traced Liz's palm. Spain shaped us. Will America unmake? Liz's reply a kiss. We'll remake it together. The ceremony dawned flawless. Azure skies, sea breeze carrying jasmine vows. Diplomas in hand, they stood on the promenade, waves crashing approval. Harlan's shadow? A footnote in their epic. Love they'd etched endures not despite the tears but through them, human, messy, eternal. The hum of Malaga Airport swallowed Ella's goodbyes like a voracious tide. Each hug from her parents lingering a beat too long, heavy with the unsaid. Ambassador Ramirez clapped Liz on the back, his diplomat's poise cracking into a gruff, take care of my girl. While Rosa enveloped them both, her perfume a final spritz of home, lavender and sea salt. Call every Sunday. And visit at Christmas. Spain misses you already. Ella nodded, throat knotted as Liz's hand squeezed hers. We're anchors now, not just sails. The flight to LAX stretched eternal. 11 hours of turbulence mirroring the churn in Ella's gut. Liz dozed against her shoulder, blonde strands tickling her neck, but sleep evaded Ella. Windows framed clouds like blank reels begging for stories. What would America demand? USC's campus, with its palm-lined paths and film labs humming like beehives, promised reinvention, but at what cost? Malaga had been their crucible, forging love from prejudice's fire. Hollywood, a glittering forge prone to melting dreams. Ilara met them at arrivals, a whirlwind of hugs and a driver holding Harper Ramirez takeover signs. Welcome to the beast, she quipped, sliding into the SUV's leather embrace. Traffic snarled on the 405, billboards flashing sequins and slogans, a far cry from Malaga's tiled intimacy. First stop, orientation. Then my office, we've got meetings. Liz's eyes lit, but Ella sensed the undercurrent. Ilara's world was fast, fame-fueled, where personal blurred into professional. Dorm life hit like a montage. Bunk beds in a shared triple, posters of Truffaut and Almodovar papering cinderblock walls. Their third roommate, Jade, a non-binary film major from Brooklyn with neon buzzcut and wry grin, became instant ally. Heard about your principal's smackdown. Iconic. Spill the tea. Over late-night ramen stories flowed. Malaga's sunsets, Harlan's sneer, the kiss on live TV. Jade nodded, sketching zine panels. That's raw material. Let's collab. Classes ignited sparks. Screenwriting with a grizzled prof who chain-smoked anecdotes. Cinematography labs where Ella's eye for light earned nods. Liz thrived in producing, her energy corralling group projects like a quarterback. But romance transplanted wilted in the drought. Schedules clashed. Study sessions stretched into all-nighters, leaving stolen moments for hurried coffees. I miss our courtyard, Ella confessed one evening, sprawled on the quad under eucalyptus shade. Liz traced her jaw. We'll make new sacred spots. Like that bench by the lab, our editing bay. Conflict crested subtly. Alara's docuseries ballooned into a Netflix pitch. Coasts of Courage, now a 6-episode beast demanding reshoots. Fly back to Spain for B-roll, Alara urged over Zoom. Her face pixelated but insistent. Ella voked. It's our story. Why commodify the pain? Liz mediated, ever the bridge. It's amplification, not appropriation. Think exposure. But doubt seated. Was Liz aligning with Mom's empire? Or their shared dream? Betrayal's specter returned via email. An anonymous leak. Production notes framing their romance as narrative hook. With scripted emotional beats that echoed Harlan's drama. Ella confronted Alara in her Westwood bungalow. Walls lined with Emmys like captured lightning. Are we pawns? Alara sighed, pouring Merlot. Hollywood's a machine, kid. But you steer. I overstepped. Forgive. Tears fell, not of anger but release. Liz arrived mid-confession, wrapping them in a group hug. Family glitch. We debug. Deepened emotions surfaced in therapy. Mandatory for majors but revelatory. Ella unpacked Malaga's scars. The rip, the rally, Tia Sophia's slow thaw. I fear erasure again, she told the circle. Liz shared Seattle ghosts. Absent dad, Mom's eclipsing shadow. Love's my constant, but I dread dimming her light. Vulnerability bonded them tighter, dates reclaiming rhythm. Sunset hikes in Griffith Park, where city lights twinkled like distant stars. Indie screenings at the New Art, hands intertwined in the dark. Humanistic threads wove through campus. The club they founded, Global Queer Frames, drew crowds, immigrant stories, trans narratives, echoing Malaga's mosaic. A screening of Echoes packed the auditorium. Q&A spilling into debates on allyship. Jade's zine collab went viral on TikTok. Hashtags bridging coasts. Climax brewed at the series premiere gala. Red carpet in Hollywood's glare. Alara's network fading them like prodigals. Ella in emerald silk, Liz in tailored black, they posed, flashes blinding. But inside the Dolby as episodes unspooled, unease stirred. Their kiss, once raw, edited glossy. Post-screening panel, a critic quipped. Inspirational, but does trauma sell? Ella's mic hand trembled. Trauma doesn't sell, it survives. We honor it to heal others. Liz amplified. It's not hook, it's heart. Applause thundered, but backstage they clung, the industry's maw reminder. Fame feeds but doesn't fill. Resolution bloomed in quiet rebellion. They co-directed a short for the club, Tides Unbroken. A love letter to enduring roots. Screened at Sundance, earning whispers of awards. Alara stepped back, mentoring sandstrings. Parents visited. Ramirez clan in Disneyland khakis, Harper in casual chic, dinners blending tacos and salmon, cultures clashing kindly. Graduation 4 years on. Togas under California palms, Ella and Liz ascending stages hand in hidden hand. Post-ceremony on a Malibu bluff, waves crashing like applause, they exchanged rings, simple silver, engraved with olive leaves. To every coast, Liz vowed. Ella echoed. And the seas between. Years folded. Ella's feature debut. A dramedy on expat hearts, Oscar buzzed. Liz produced, their banner Harper Ramirez Studios, a beacon. Malaga called back. Festivals, homecomings, Tia Sophia front row beaming. Harlan. A faded op-ed, reformed in retirement. His apology letter framed as cautionary art. In their Ella Hills home, views of Sierras echoing Nevadas. Love matured, not flawless but faithful. Children came via surrogacy. A boy with Liz's freckles, a girl with Ella's laugh. Evenings, editing bays hummed. Stories birthed from lived lore. Humanism's grace. No tidy bows, just threads enduring, betrayals mended. Conflicts composted into growth. Romance a constant reel. As sun dipped, painting skies in Andalusian fire, Ella leaned into Liz. We tore through the hate. Liz smiled. And stitched something sacred. Fade out on laughter, eternal as echo.